Now that cannabis has been legalized, what are the key things that every employer should have in place?
The key thing that employers should be keeping in mind at all times is that under workers' compensation legislation, they have an obligation to provide a workplace that is safe and healthy. And that means making sure that workers on any work site are working in a manner or are present in a manner that's not going to cause a risk to them, to the public, to customers, to coworkers, and that includes making sure that employees are not impaired or potentially impaired by drugs or alcohol, such as or cannabis specifically. What employers should be doing is, I think that the key thing is really that employers should be communicating their expectations to their employees. And that can be something that can be a brief memo or an email that goes out to the company and says, listen, we know marijuana is legalized. Our concerns about it are still the same. It is still a substance that has consequences for your ability to work in a productive manner, in a safe manner, in a healthy manner. So here's our expectations. You're not going to have the marijuana plant at your desk. You're not going to be blazing at lunchtime. Employers who've got drug and alcohol policies should be considering whether those policies need to be updated to make sure that the language is current with the fact that cannabis is legalized, and also to make sure that more generally their policies are up to date with testing requirements. Employers who don't have policies should be thinking about whether or not they need one in their workplace. But the biggest piece of advice that I give to my clients is that as an employer, your concern on October 16th wasn't that an employee is smoking a joint and it's illegal. I don't think any employer is losing sleep over the fact that you might have bought a bag of weed from a guy in the corner. The concern on the 16th and on the 17th is what does that mean for my workplace? And those concerns are still the same. So employers should know that those concerns still exist, and that legalization doesn't give employees a free ride to show up to work under the influence or potentially under the influence.
Some great key action items that every employer should be taking today if you haven't already.